Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mage,
This is Purebe.
and today we are going to bring you a FML match that is only about 45 minutes late and has half the original players, but it's going to be a great experience no matter what, right?
Yes.
We're excited because we have no idea who the fuck half of these people are, but we're going to start in the top left here. We have Overlord, but we're going to call him Overlord because that's retarded to have a W there. I think he's probably Russian. It makes sense in their language, but I'm English and ignorant, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Up top here, we have Greatwall, who is playing random and managed to get himself undead, spawned right next to Overlord. In the bottom right, we have SteppinRazor playing Night Elf. Interestingly enough, usually he is an Orc or undead player, so we'll see how his Night Elf skills show up. And our last player here at the 6 o'clock position is Warpex, playing his undead and Crypt Lord strategy, I'm sure.
Woo. Yeah.
That's some good analysis right there, Purebe.
Yeah. Woo.
That's why I pay you the big bucks.
It's exactly why. It's why your name's on the checks, not mine.
The 2-cent checks I get per cast. That's pretty sweet. Does look like we have pretty standard openings over here. Overlord looks to be going for just a BM first and not putting up a barracks, so maybe he's going to be going for Headhunters, but most likely I think he'll go straight to Wind Riders and go just with the Blade Master since it's relatively easy to creep on this map. Greatwall looks to be going for a pretty typical undead opening, although he does have a late altar coming up, it looks like, so he may be going for a tavern here, although I doubt it. I suspect he's just a little bit behind. Steppin going for the early altar for a Night Elf, so it's possible that he is going for the DH opening, although I suspect he just doesn't quite have this build down right. And Warpex going for his standard Crypt Lord Fiend opening, I'm sure.
With the crazy zigs.
Yes, with the crazy zigs that are not particularly well placed.
If he wants to form like a wall that just goes from the altar to his crypt, he could do that, I think.
I think what it actually is he watched Star Wars a time or two too many, and he actually wants to build the Death Star.
That could be. I don't think he finished watching that movie.
I never said that he watched it closely or well.
Well, you were right. Overlord here, he's definitely getting that Blade Master out right now. He's going for the barracks, and it looks like it's going to be Headhunters with that War Mill going up as well. So,
yep.
I'm curious to see, is he going to go for the creeping, or because I'm not sure. There's a lot of greens on this map. You could definitely creep quite a bit of it with just a Blade Master early on.
And he actually does go for a Grunt first, so this is a very weird opening to me. It's going to delay that tech quite a bit, and Headhunters don't really go that well with Blade Master. You'd expect to see the Dark Ranger opening if he was getting the Blade Master. It does look like Steppin has gone for the Dark Ranger. That's pretty much what I expected from him. I suspect we'll see a Dark Ranger, Panda, Keeper of the Grove combination, although that third hero is never a sure thing. But the Dark Ranger is just such a powerful hero on this map. Warpex has picked up his Crypt Lord, so no surprise there. Steppin is going to keep this Wisp fairly close to Warpex's base, I bet, just so he can go ahead and dispel some of the summons. Or he's not going to do that, but that's what he should do, just because you know that if somebody is getting the Crypt Lord, you can easily steal a bunch of experience with Wisps relatively easily. Greatwall has picked up a Dark Ranger as well first, so an interesting choice from him, and the only one I didn't expect. I think that's a interesting combination and may not turn out well for him in the end.
It's very much an interesting combination because the Dark Ranger is a great hero for undeads to have. But and it actually kind of works decently, I think, when you have skeletons, because it's kind of like a melee army that protects your ranged units. It's very similar, I think, to the archer strategy. The only difference is, of course, fiends are much bulkier, they're bigger, they're more expensive, but they do more damage if you get enough of them. But I have to say, one thing that I'm really interested about in this game is the way that the map has kind of split itself out. We have 2 players up top, just side by side, and 2 players down bottom side by side. And I'm curious if that's going to end up affecting whether these players decide to play an aggressive strat. I know these are all very much FFA players, so they're probably not going to be playing early aggression, but go get their, they're going to work on their early economy, I would assume. But the mid game is what I'm kind of curious to see what's going to unfold in this game.
I agree.
Also, he has 3 grunts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I guess he just wanted some towers for security, but that was a pretty non-economical way to go about it, I think.
Yeah, very, very interesting.
But getting back to what you're touching upon, I actually would not be surprised if we had Greatwall pull off an early Tier 2 rush with a Dark Ranger Lich. Just with the Crypt Fiends, Orc is pretty vulnerable early on to getting hit hard by undead. I mean, those burrows go down very, very quickly, and grunts are very beefy, but they don't do a whole lot of damage. If you can get a bunch of dark minions in there to tank and everything for you, I think there's a very good chance that Greatwall could take him out early on if he wanted to. But going back to his Dark Ranger first choice, the reason I thought that it's not the best choice ever is clearly you need to get a Death Knight in the army. But do you get that second and sacrifice a lot of DPS that you'd get with having the Lich second normally? Or do you go Lich second, pick up your Death Knight as the third hero, and basically not get your level 3 coil until very late in the game on a map like this?
Yeah. Which, and even though it's a big map, there's not all that much experience on it because a lot of those creep camps are greens.
Exactly.
So you can't really wait for that third hero.
The orange don't give a whole lot of experience either.
And they're going to be mostly crept out by then anyway.
Yeah. So,
but
I don't know.
But it looks interesting anyway. You know, it's definitely that I like the way he's creeping. The Great Wall's creeping, the orange campy is creeping now because it kind of gives him that extra orange that if he wants to take a little bit later, he can get, kind of securing a little bit of additional XP.
I was going to say, it certainly is very beneficial that you reach as far as you can while creeping and get the creeps furthest away from you first, because the ones near your base are going to be less likely to have somebody come and take them late game, whereas the ones in the middle of everybody, those are very likely to be gotten later on in the game.
Also, I'm loving this ghoul harass. Great Wall's got one on Worpex. Warpex sent one over here on the Moonwells for Steppin. I don't actually know where it ended up, but just everyone keeping tabs on each other, and it's a very good thing to have going on in the game.
Something that Warpex should have been a little more careful about is that he has his carrion beetles swarmed very closely to his Cryptlord. The lightning lizards do a lot of splash damage to summons, so ideally he should have had those split up into one but tanked with his Cryptlord. It's something that is only really needed to know on a few maps here, but between this and Death Rose, two maps that can either make or break somebody creeping early on if they have summons due to those lightning lizards.
Yeah, that's something you definitely need to be very much concerned about, especially if you're creeping on a map like where it's a competitive creeping. I would definitely consider this to be very much competitive. Vying for who can get the most experience early on in the game, they're definitely going to have an advantage going on into the mid or the late game just from having that early additional experience. And Panda second for Steppin, like you said.
Yep.
Which pretty good call.
I mean, Elf is just pretty much useless without a Panda, so it's kind of a given. As much as I'd like to take credit for it, but he is the only one to have managed to gotten his second hero out yet, so a little bit late for most people. I mean, we're almost through creeping the map, and usually everybody has their second hero by around this point in the game. Does look like Overlord has managed to get his Tauren Chieftain second as well, and Steppin doing a nice job of just going across the map here to grab some creep camps. He's noticed that these have not been taken yet by either of the other players that it should have been. So I like the fact that he's being aggressive in going out to get his creep camps. Just looking around the map, everybody is still under 50, and we have both... actually, Warpex is still at Halls of the Dead. Steppin is on the way to his Tree of Eternity. Greatwall has just started going up to his Tier 3, and Fortress is going to be the first one to finish for Overlord. So Overlord will hit Tier 3 first. However, he does look like he's probably at a pretty serious disadvantage right now for expansions. He does have one up that is only now just making the rest of his peons, whereas everybody else is at least two, and in Greatwall's case, he has a third expansion going up.
Very greedy play coming in from Greatwall, but I definitely like it. And he's working on, like you said, a third expansion, that's going to put him up to 4 gold mines. And additionally, there's nothing that's being crept to the left of Greatwall's base. It looks like maybe that orc's going to go in for it right now, but he could get scouted. I can't quite see. No, the Death Knight's not going to see it. It's a shame.
I'm interested. Guess that Death Knight is going to the shop over here. I was wondering why it's lurking all about it on its lonesome here. But I really like Greatwall's play at this point. I think the fact that he is continuing to just create a big fiend army means he's probably going to go ahead and push on the orc relatively soon. And Undead actually does not have a whole lot to fear from orc this early. It's late when they get the heroes that they're really at a disadvantage. But I mean, you can see Overlord's wood right now is just critically low, and if Greatwall pushes in the next 5 minutes, I think he will not have a whole lot of problem just completely overwhelming the orc and putting him out of business.
Yeah, the Orc's making a very interesting choice here by going double Spirit Lodge at this point, I think, because he's already got double Bestiary up. Like you said, wood's a very critical issue for him right now. And if he was making one Spirit Lodge, I would be more understanding of it. But again, he's so low on peasants or peons really that are mining wood. And this isn't a great map for wood. I mean, he's got up here at the top where his war mill is quite a few trees, but there's the edge of the map right there. And so those are going to mine out in what, 2 layers, 3 layers at most, maybe. Yep. And then he's got a pretty long walk to finish getting wood there, so he might have to even consider just moving those peons to another base.
Which is not uncommon, and I'm sure he probably will at some point. However, his only expansion right now does not have very much wood on it.
Yeah, and Greatwall is killing a fiend right now because he went into upkeep and didn't want the fiend, apparently.
Which is a good move on his part. I mean, it's well worth it to go ahead and get out of upkeep, and honestly, he doesn't really need the fiends right now. It probably does mean he's going to go ahead and move on to gargoyles when he hits that orc, though, and probably go for a gargoyle and... ooh, nice kill on the Keeper of the Grove there. Well played by Warpex. Nice surround and forcing Steppin to get out of here. So it does look like we've pretty much paired up our early fights. Not a surprise considering that they spawn next to each other, but that was first blood going to Warpex right now.
Which I missed, I'm sorry. I was too busy looking at Greatwall's ghoul that's kind of just idle there by the graveyard. I was just enthralled. Another fiend going to go down for Greatwall.
Yep, and it looks like Overlord not going to try and kill it. So, easy chance to get a little bit of experience there while Greatwall is attacking himself and Overlord will look too nice.
That would have been level 2 on your Tauren Chieftain. No! What are you doing?
Overlord is currently capped at 50, though. So, we talk about maintaining upkeep at 50, 80, 100. Not a good idea to not be able to go beyond 50, though.
He's very brave.
I mean, he is playing orcs, so he probably doesn't have too much to fear, but...
His towers are going up, or he's got some towers up. He's working on getting that reinforced defenses up. 2 towers, even with the reinforced defense, probably not going to be a super great, and given their position, super great defense, because they'll probably die pretty quickly regardless of what type of armor they have. But with the Windrider army coming up and the casters that he's going to have to support it, you know, if no one kind of punishes him right now, or if no one does anything to his play, then he might actually be able to pull out some scary late game. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get that 3rd expansion up, really.
Yeah, and Orc is probably the race best suited to not being able to have the expansions to match everybody else. I mean, right now, his heroes clearly have the advantage against Greatwall's heroes in terms of being able to take them down early. They don't have the levels that match up. However, I would much rather have Hex Stomp in order to take out that Lich early on, or that Death Knight. I mean, we talked earlier about how, ooh, bad job hitting Steppin here. Don't like this idea.
Probably not a good idea.
Yeah, no. So this is one of those things that we talk about, kind of experienced free-for-all players are more, I don't want to say passive. I mean, they are certainly more passive, but they're more cautious as well with who they hit because diplomacy plays such a large role. And Steppin can be coming in here with the fake TP and should be able to take out at least one hero here, I'm guessing. Goes ahead and gets that entangle off on the Shadowhunter. Maybe we'll see a TP pass here. Nice Hex. So we're actually going to have this Panda looking pretty low here. Good staff on his part. Shadowhunter still looking very low, and down it goes. So Steppin able to get away relatively scot-free here. Going to have to burn an invulnerability and a TP.
That's pretty expensive. I don't think that was anywhere near worth it. A TP, an invulnerability, and an expansion to kill a level 1 Shadowhunter? Oof.
I was going to say, the expansion part is probably the only part I'd agree with. I'd take 500 gold for a level 1 hero kill, though. I mean, this is a map where you're going to get a lot of gold. And trading experience for gold is pretty much well worth it.
Yeah, but you don't get a whole lot of experience from a level 1.
I mean, relative to what he had before, the Keeper of the Grove got 50 out of it. It's a quarter of the way there.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's a pretty, I don't know, it's a pretty definitely an interesting trade to make, but it was expensive. It was definitely expensive.
It was, but it's not. Steppin is going up to 100 now, so, or up to 80, probably up to 100 to push on Warpex. Warpex has gone to 60, as we talk about having good management. Warpex showing he does not have it.
Oh, look at this. He's just having some issues with wood, his lumber. That's all that's going on.
I think everybody at the moment is having some issues with wood, except maybe Steppin.
I like how he's just got like these 3 gargoyles in Warpex's base. He's just not going to worry about them. He just doesn't care. Probably doesn't want to bring them to his army, though.
they're looking out for his base, you know? You see gargoyles on the side of, like, justice buildings and stuff like that. Warpex took that idea to heart.
Yeah. He just needs to get stone for him now.
Well, let's not get too hasty.
Well, I really like Greatwall's base. It's definitely a great wall to his base. You know, it's true to the name, right?
We encourage puns 24/7 here.
You probably shouldn't.
More importantly, I like that he has the ability right now to so easily swap over to a 4 crypt push on gargoyles, and he'll have the ability to push out 2 frost worms momentarily. He can get up to 80 in about probably 2.5, 3 minutes. And when you have an orc next door to you, that's pretty important. It does look like we have Steppin here coming in for the big fight. Warpex has a pretty decent army to fight this, actually. However, he does not have very good positioning. Nice staff getting that Chim out of the way. Is going to lose that Druid of the Claw, it looks like, but it is forcing Warpex to draw his entire army. So Warpex getting a little greedy going after that bear right now, and it's going to put Steppin in great position to go ahead. And can he get this Lich down? Does get the Lich. Panda hits level 3. That's going to be bad news for Warpex later on, but Warpex does defend his base for the moment. However, Steppin lost 4 food there, and that's it.
That was, yeah, not too bad.
I was going to say,
I think he
Warpex
lost.
didn't lose a whole lot. He just lost that Lich primarily.
I think he lost a little bit more than that. I think he lost 2 hippogriffs that he's remaking as well, but not too bad for him. Definitely not too bad. Not a bad fight for Steppin. Right, the bear, and which was 4, and then the 2 hippogriffs.
I guess he might have lost 2 hippogriffs. I didn't see that rebuilding. You're probably right.
Yeah, I'm generally right.
Would you like me to disconnect you now?
No! Not again!
And boot you out of the game?
Like, look, so you did ban me. That's what was going on the whole time. No!
I just couldn't figure out how to ban you from Green.
Thank God for that.
So Steppin had a pretty nice draw there, actually, but he is going to be in an interesting position to fight right now, and he has a very heavy Chimera army. I don't think this is going to go very well for Steppin, if we're being honest right now.
No,
it's very hard to tell what's going on in this battle, but it does look like Warpex has the upper hand at the moment. Frostworm looking low, though. That's the main thing for Warpex that's in the way. I don't know if Warpex has intentionally done this or not, but he has done a very nice job of getting the gargoyles only to be the ones webbed, leaving the chimeras in the air, and those are the ones that obviously you want the gargoyles to be able to focus down quickly. However, Steppin did lose quite a bit more there than Warpex, it looked like, and Warpex did a nice job of not losing a hero this time.
Yeah, losing a hero, never a good idea. And meanwhile, up at the top part of the base, we can see more crypts coming in from Greatwall. He wants to reinforce it, building another necropolis so he can kind of mine wood from a different spot, which is probably going to be important because, you know, frostworms are incredibly lumber heavy, very lumber intense, and of course, when you have 10,000 gold, you got 4 gold mines running. Wood, very
Here we go, we got Warpex coming back in here. So nice silence on the part of Steppin here. He is going to get this Lich, it looks like, and down that goes. However, he does lose that Chimera in the process, but his hippogriffs are looking much lower now, and this Panda is really showing what it can do here. Big Breath of Fire. Oh, nope, he uses Haze that ignores Breath of Fire, actually, so I'm not sure if that was a great idea or a terrible idea, but he does have a Potion of Vulnerability he can use on that Brewmaster, but it's looking pretty low there. He gets it off. Looking pretty even in the air battle right now, however, it is going to be Steppin that is the one to TP away first here, and just gets that Keeper of the Grove out of the way right now. So Steppin is going to go ahead and pump on all tilts right now with those hippogriffs. He has 1-3 armor on them at the moment compared to the 1-1 armor, and we've got another battle incoming here. It looks like Overlord is going to try and push on Greatwall, however, they're both at 50, and that was just a scouting expedition. So back down here to Warpex, who's trying to take out these Ancients of Wind as fast as he can. However, he is going to be in a lot of trouble the moment that they decide to engage again. Big Breath of Fire coming in here, takes out 1, does not do a terrible amount of damage, however, it's certainly more than you'd like, and Steppin trying to use that Hippogriff to go ahead and kite back in, but Web gets in the way. This is not going to be a good fight for Warpex, however, he smartly goes ahead and uses Stone Form here. Keep of the Grove looking low, does get staffed out of the way, though.
Good play. Really good play coming in from Warpex right there. Just going ahead and saying, you know what, I can kind of take a fight as long as I don't take a fight.
Yep.
Which works, because, I mean, he's got the Fiends. It's mostly Hippogriffs right now in that army, and then Hero Micro, and the Fiends are going to help with that. And here comes that Frostworm as well.
That Frostworm's going to go down momentarily, though. But that Brewmaster looking very low right now. Is it? Nope. Not going to get staffed out of the way, so that is a huge loss for Steppin at the moment. Warpex playing this very, very well. As long as he can keep the stone-formed gargoyles and keep kiting like that, then he is going to be in very good shape. And Steppin just losing units bit by bit right now. Warpex playing the game of attrition and playing it well.
Yeah, and also he didn't lose the Froststorm, which is great. And I think right now he's attacking the wrong target. I think he should totally be going for that Tree of Life right there, because I mean, it's right there. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
The expansion, I'd agree.
Yeah.
However, I think he's mostly trying to prevent any more hippos getting pumped out. However, he doesn't realize Steppen is incredibly low on gold right now, and it's really the most important part would be to go ahead and take down that expansion. However, Steppen is going to go ahead and lose this Chimera as well, so Warpex in very good shape. He is at 82 though. I'd like to see him drop back down to 80 and continue to mine. He's got this well in hand, and he needs to go ahead and hit that expansion as you're talking about. It's very risky to push into his base right now, but this could be a very good fight for him depending on how it goes. We're looking at a low keep of the Grove here that's going to have to TP. Warpex is at level 5 on that crypt, not too far from level 6. He can get level 6 in this fight if he does it well. However, this is not going entirely the way he planned probably. Warpex going to go ahead and continue kiting. He has dropped 13 more food at the moment. Does have a ton of Chimeras coming in here, and if he can go ahead and kill those, that will do wonders for his army. On the other hand, if he loses his Lich like it looks like he's going to, that is not going to do wonders for his army. Lich is looking very low. Need to see a TP pass here. Come on. Oh! Does not lose the TP though, so he will be able to TP out with either of his heroes, and these gargoyles are continuing to do massive amounts of damage to the hippogriffs while Steppen was focused on the hero, and we're going to see the Chimeras go down momentarily as well. So nice job using Death Pact on the Death Knight, so well played by Warpex on that bit, and let's see if he can take down both of these Chimeras in the meantime.
I don't know why he's attacking the heroes with his Gargs. Those Chimeras were juicy targets. Juicy!
Yeah, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we've got the Panda back out, so this could be very bad news. Does not yet have enough for a Breath of Fire, so it is just going to be Haze at the moment, and cannot manage to get this single Chimera down. We're looking pretty low on the Death Knight as well. Does go ahead and use Stone Form to great success. He's going to have to TP out momentarily, though, unless he wants to lose this Death Knight. So Warpex is going to go ahead and TP out here. Getting close on the Crypt Lord, but it shouldn't die. There we go. So Warpex in very good shape at the moment. However, if he had taken out these Trees of Life, he'd be in even better shape.
Yeah. I would say, and the other thing that's interesting is up top right now, Greatwall, he's just kind of been, he's gone up to 100 food.
Yep.
And is he mining? He's still mining, even though he's at 100 food. Is that a normal move in FFA to mine at 100?
Well, if you can see here, he has pulled the Alkalites off of his main base.
He's making an Ancient Protector at this base that Greatwall is totally building right now, which I just have to say is amazing. I love it when players do that, and I had to point it out. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. So the expansions, it is normal because you never know when you're going to get those expansions back if they die. It's better to drain the gold off of the map. However, the fact that he has pulled the Alkalites off the Haunted Gold Mine in his natural, that is a good move because you're unlikely to lose that, and if you do, the game is over anyway. So he's going to wait until he gets to 50 to finish mining that. But keeping it on the expansions, not a bad idea at all. The only one that I think was maybe a little questionable is the natural expansion to his right. He could probably pull the Alkalites off of that pretty safely and continue to go back to it later on. A very interesting army combination here by Greatwall, though. I like it. It'll be interesting to see how well it does, but I think it's a very good combo for playing against a Orc player. I'd like to see a few more Destroyers, probably, because it is so caster-heavy.
Did you see that? Steppen canceled the Ancient Protector that was being built. I think it was because that troll Witch Doctor started attacking it.
Could be correct, yeah.
Which is not Greatwall's unit. So it wasn't really going to stop it, but I don't know.
And Overlord coming in here in very good position to take advantage of the fact that Greatwall is moving away from him. This is not the way that you want to be lined up for your Greatwall right now. In come the bats. Does not do a good job of killing off anything with them, though. He could use a lot more bats, and Overlord fighting at a 20 food disadvantage at the moment.
Yeah, and those Frostworms are just going to pick apart those Torrens. Absolutely no problem. And in fact, well, they've already done it. This fight is going very clearly into Greatwall's favor. There is a healing ward up right now that could pretty much go down in like one hit with just a bit of micro, but it's not enough to really matter. And I think that this expansion is probably going to die.
Yep, we're going to go back down here to Steppen and Warpex because this fight's a little more interesting. Does look like this could be the end for Steppen if he doesn't play this well. However, it does look like his Hippogriffs are in pretty good position right now. Warpex not doing nearly as nice a job of microing those, and the Death Knight is low.
What?
Death Knight does go down. Warpex does not use the TP to save it. Warpex can go ahead and TP out. Let's go back up here to Greatwall because there is still some fighting going on up here. Interestingly enough, Greatwall is still very low on both the Lich and the Death Knight. I'd expect this to be a little higher by now, and he is not fighting inside of Overlord's base very well. Those 3 towers doing a lot of damage to him, actually. And this looks like it could be the downside of his army currently, is they do not have a whole lot of sieging power at the moment.
Yeah, well, you know, the other thing I just want to mention is that Death Knight died. It had a TP on it as well as a healing scroll.
Yeah.
And it just hurt my soul. But that was tangent. But yeah. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. There's a lot of action going on.
Greatwall had a beautiful TP there, saved both of his Frostworms, which are going to go down very quickly. He could probably go ahead and use a statue that's not on mana restore right now and switch that over to health. That's just an idea, though. And Overlord has gone full 100 with the Wind Rider caster army, so that will be
scary.
Yeah, very scary, and this early in the game, going to be very hard for Greatwall to deal with. I mean, he needs to go pretty much a full 100 food gargoyle army to deal with it, and he'd have to kill off his own army to do that. So he could be in trouble here. He does have a good amount of towers, so fighting in the base is not going to be the end of the world for him, for sure. But I've got to think you're a little worried if you are in Greatwall's shoes right now. Yeah, that fiend.
Who's trapped?
That lich. That Death Knight, I mean...
Well, no, there's a fiend that's like trapped right here between that spirit tower, the woods, and the crypts. It's like, let me at him, you know. And you know, the second that you unsummon that crypt, that fiend's gonna back right back up and say, "No, I was kidding, guys. Don't run me into that."
I like how the lich is leading here because that's not gonna die in about 30 seconds.
No, well, it has the TP, so maybe if it doesn't get hexed and stomped, it could live for 10.
How often does that happen when you're playing in Orc?
It doesn't ever. I mean, it's you know. Yeah, no, Overlord is doing a really good job right now. He's definitely got the map control, and he's taking the advantage. He's taken down. This is the second expansion he's going to go for, and the fight's going to go underway right now. That Dark Ranger in a pretty precarious position, but that was a nice silence on the Torrent Chieftain to prevent the stomp.
And it's got a bunch of the casters in silence as well, so that was very important on his part. The Torrent Chieftain looking very low there. I'm not sure if it's going to make it out of this. It does go down there, so Overlord quickly losing his advantage here. Bad positioning on his part. He managed to get a bunch of his Wind Riders webbed here, which is pretty much the only thing that could have managed to keep them down. And it does not look like the Spirit Walkers managed to link any of them as well, so they're going down easy peasy to this Fiend army. Usually you don't see Wind Riders getting torn apart by a Fiend army, but in this case apparently you do. And it looks like the Shadow Hunter may go down as well. Yep, Shadow Hunter does go down, so Overlord lost 45 food there. Did manage to kill off the expansion, I guess, and kill off some of Greatwall's army, but probably not the way he envisioned that going, and certainly not the way I envisioned it going. Down here we do have Steppin is going to begin his siege on Warpex, and Steppin is at only 1,000 gold, but both players are fighting around 80. Warpex needs a little more food to get up there, and this could be a bad surround on the Panda if it's not careful there. So Panda is going to have to TP out or get staffed. Probably going to get staffed, but will it get a Haze Fire combo off? And Panda does have to TP, actually, so let's see if Warpex can go ahead and save all these gargoyles. Nope, not quite all of them, but he should go ahead and stoneform those. Okay, so went pretty well for Warpex there. Steppin overextended himself a little bit. But... And
Steppin got a Frostworm.
Oh, did he? Is that what the difference was?
Yeah,
okay.
He charmed it and staffed it.
So that makes some sense there.
It's a great unit to have, especially if you can get some bears out to, you know, actually cast not bears. If you get one bear out for rejuvenation, that would be fantastic. But I don't know how efficient that would actually be. But it would be cool. It would be very cool. But yeah, we can see that right now we have Steppin. He's sitting on 4 gold mines. However, Warpex is about to take one of those gold mines out. Although that means Steppin actually charmed an acolyte because this is an undead base, so which is a very interesting choice.
So
are you? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead and keep talking. I actually have something. Somehow the stream popped up in the background, so I'm trying to get that turned off because I can hear you talking through. Actually, I can hear me talking through.
Yeah, I can hear
it. You keep talking. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
I'll keep talking, yeah. So look at this. We have Greatwall with basically, he's just kind of chilling out in his base right now. He's got statues. He's trying to heal up his army. He needs to kind of make things go back together. He decided to Dark Ritual that fiend that got trapped right there in between the wood and the crypt and the ziggurat, the spirit tower, whatever you want to call it, which isn't really great. It was a terrible outcome. It didn't really have much of a life and never got to go out. That was going to be the done ting thing, but then I messed it up. So there you go. Now over here we can see that Greatwall is going to lose this expansion once again to Overlord. maybe the whole building. He's lost all the acolytes. He might not lose the Haunted Goldmine. There are a couple of curses on those White Wind Riders, and here comes that army. But it looks like it's probably going to die. The Goldmine, he's probably just going to TP out and not try to take this fight, because this fight would be a really crazy fight to take. But maybe he will try to take the fight, or he's just going to TP out and not kill the Goldmine, which I don't know. He could have killed the Goldmine, but there you go.
Yeah, that was a weird area there. I'm surprised that he didn't go ahead and TP out a little bit earlier, and it does look like Steppen in very good position to take down this Dark Death Knight at the moment, and the Death Knight does go down. Cryptlord does not have a TP on it, so this could be the end of the Cryptlord as well. Steppen may go ahead and take Warpex completely out of the game at the moment, and there it goes. So Cryptlord does go down, did a bunch of damage though to begin with. However, Warpex is down to 20 food, Steppen at 78. This is GG for Warpex. He put up a good fight earlier on, and actually I thought he had it for a little while, but Steppen goes ahead and takes it over, and he is going to be able to expo now, get some gold back up, and ideally for him, he will have Overlord and Greatwall continue to fight for a while longer. The best bet for him is if Warpex does not leave the game and continues to stay for a while, because that way they will not know. Warpex does announce that he's dead, so.
Warpex, he's a true player. A true team player. And an FFA. And not free-for-all.
But I like Steppen's chances at the moment. God damn it.
Well, anyway, what we can see is SteppinRazor right now, he's just kind of decimating Warpex's base. He figures, you know what, I've taken this guy out, I'm going to dummy his base, make sure he doesn't have a chance to get back in, and I'm just going to have him eliminated from the game. And at that point, I'm basically going to have to go ahead and say there's a fight that's going underway between Overlord and Greatwall up here in the top left part of the map. Here come the Bat Riders straight into those Frost Worms. It looks like they kind of are getting a little mismicroed right here. One of the Frost Worms has gone down, however, a second one will get focused down as well. And we have a couple of Gargs over here attacking the Shamans. Not really a bad use of them, but he's going to kind of bring them back into the fight. We're going to see the Lich taking a lot of damage as well. The Death Coil does go onto him, and that Lich is going to have to go ahead and start running away, but he does get stomped. He's kind of caught in a bad spot. That Blade Master going to right back on him, right out of the Windwalk. However, he does have Curse on him, and he can't quite get rid of that, so that is a lot of mischance that he's going to have to deal with and contend with. And in fact, the Orc Army simply can't deal with that. He's going to be forced to retreat, and it looks like Greatwall is going to take another great victory across from this Overlord player, the Orc player, who just had a really kind of poor TP, but he had to deal with that because his Tauren Chieftain is very low and it might die regardless, and in fact he goes down to a Nova, and there you go. Overlord definitely losing that fight. Really, really bad.
And this could just be the end for Overlord, depending on how Greatwall manages to play this. He clearly needs a few more Frost Worms to take this out here, but ooh, we may see this Demolisher go down too, which Demolisher, interesting idea here, probably going to work pretty well for him. Actually not going to go for it. Going to go for the Great Hall over here and get the expansion out of the way. So like we were talking about with Warpex earlier, this is probably the right play because you need to cut off their economy. You can just bleed them dry, killing a unit by unit and making sure that they can't expand while you can. I do not believe he knows about the expansion down here, and Overlord not really mining off of it anyway. The expansion around the 7 o'clock position. Steppen going to go ahead and finish Warpex off as we speak. So Greatwall going to be able to pretty easily take out most of the units Overlord has here. It'll be a question of how long, and a nice job charming this Kodo Beast, which is going to do wonders for the undead army at the moment.
Kodo Beast is so good. It's so powerful. It's also really nice when you have Necromancers that have Kodo Beast because they get that nice buff. And the fight's going underway, but it's not really going to be much of a fight. It's going to be a Frost Nova and back off, and that is really bad for the Orc because his AoE healing at this point is not that great. I don't see any Witch Doctors out to actually provide any, and so he's going to have to try to come up with a way to deal with that. There's not really any efficient healing besides the Witch Doctor, so it looks like he's just going to have to wait until those come back out.
Yep, and I also don't see any Spirit Walkers either. He's not going to be able to give himself, whatchamacallit?
Spirit Link.
Yeah.
Which is vital, so vital. It's so important to have that. Granted, there are 2 destroyers, so it's not, I guess, as vital, but he has Bloodlust, so it kind of is still pretty good.
I was going to say, and Greatwall doing a nice job of getting the Frost off on the towers. In the end, he just ended up losing that worm. However, I think it was actually a pretty good trade because he was able to cut off every one of those Wind Riders except for one while the towers were down and the Frost Worm was being focused. And Greatwall easily able to outgold Overlord at the moment. I mean, Greatwall in the dominant position macro-wise right now. Yeah,
absolutely. And, you know, one thing that I'm going to look at right now is SteppinRazor's army. It's pretty much right beside this fight that's been going on for quite some time. And I'm curious to find out, is he just looking at the shops or is he looking to do some kind of engagement right now? Looks like it might just be the shops, but he might be going over to Greatwall's expansion right here as well.
That would not surprise me at all. And if he had a little bit better scouting, he'd be able to easily come in and take them out. He does have a pretty nice army to counter Greatwall at the moment because Greatwall has gone so heavily for ground units. He's able to focus on those Chimeras, and this Death Knight looking pretty low here, and Death Knight does go down, so Overlord able to do a little bit of damage at the end, even though it's probably not going to help him.
And lost the Blade Master, but just a little bit south, we can see the Greatwall is going for a Haunted Gold Mine, and Overlord just right on it with the Watchtower. I love that play. I love that we're seeing it twice in one game. I love it.
I'd like to see the Acolytes attacking it.
Oh, don't spoil this for me.
And something that Warpex did earlier that Greatwall should probably do right now is go ahead and use Stoneform. He's taking a decent bit of damage with those Gargs. They're not doing much damage to the heroes, and you could easily get a nice surround in with the Gargoyles. We've seen Duck use that quite a bit to get a Stoneform surround off, and it's something more undead players should do, although I know it's quite a bit harder than it seems when I just say it like that.
Oh no, it's super easy. You just hit a button. You just hit a button, they all fall down. That's
not how it works.
Oh, this Watchtower has got one Acolyte. It's going for a second. Oh, it's going to kill everything.
Oh, the Acolytes are moving out of the way now.
No, why did I say anything? It's Murphy's Law. Damn it. Every time. Yeah, this is looking pretty well for Greatwall. He's definitely cleaning up Overlord's base. There's just not going to be any kind of more production coming out from Overlord at this point. He's probably going to have to maybe try. He's got so little gold right now. I don't know why he's making a second Watchtower at this expansion. It's not really going to do anything. The first one has succeeded, and really all that's going to happen. The second one's just going to force pretty much the army to come down there and deal with it. But his main base is already decimated, and he's not going to be able to defend it. I can only think he's trying to buy time maybe for Steppen to try to do something, but Steppen at this point, I think his best bet is just to back off and wait, let's see what happens, because he's not really hurting for time. He's got the whole bottom of the map. He took care of Warpex, got a lot of experience, level 7 on the Dark Ranger, level 6 on the Panda, level 5, very close, level 6 on that Keeper of the Grove. His upgrades are looking really fantastic, 3-3 on all the units that count. I know he has an Acolyte somewhere on the map. I don't know if he's actually looking into the Undead Tech Tree. I don't know what he would be looking to get if he was, but
I suspect he is not going to look into it now. And the question right now becomes the classic free-for-all player question. Do you try and move and start the 2v1 against somebody? Hope you can get the advantage, but risk that they will 2v1 you, or do you let the other players just fight it out? I mean, he clearly has the hero advantage right now, although not by a lot. However, the fact that Greatwall does not have a Dreadlord really going to hurt him late game. And Greatwall actually is at 100 right now, so he's looking to move to Steppen right after he finishes Overlord, I would guess, because he knows that Overlord is so low on gold, he does not need 100 to deal with them. The fact that he is so gargoyle-oriented right now, probably also an indication that he thinks he'll need them to take down Steppen. Steppen completely unprepared to actually fight Greatwall now. I mentioned earlier he wasn't in bad position, however, I've changed that assessment because of all these gargoyles. He's in a terrible position to fight right now. Should he encounter Greatwall, the only advantage he would have is that Panda, and there's no Dreadlord to go ahead and use Sleep or to give the gargoyles the advantage.
Now, I can't even see quite where his army is.
Where Steppen's army is?
Yeah.
It's down here.
Oh, it looked like a base on the map.
It did, yep.
So yeah, there's a base. There's lots of bases, but I don't know where his army went. Yeah, no, it's I don't know, a mass Chimera army is definitely not what you want against an undead with a lot of Gargs, but he doesn't have quite as many Gargs as I thought he would have.
Well, he has more. They're floating around the map somewhere. There's more than just what's in his,
I've been looking. Oh, there they are. They're chasing some Wind Riders up here up at the top left part of the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There they are. I know I saw more Gargs a second ago.
I thought I did too, but I was like, man, that's a small number. Yeah, there they are.
Wow.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to Chimeras
down really quickly.
Yeah, Wind Riders are. I feel like at some point when you just have to say, you know what, Wind Riders, you guys, I don't need you anymore.
We got the big fight coming in between Steppen. Steppen has gotten a perfect timing off right now. Looks like he won't be able to do a whole lot of damage because Greatwall is going to TP out of the way here, but very nice ambush because of the fact that Greatwall didn't have most of his army with him. And nice choice by Steppen to let Overlord go ahead and live here. He probably doesn't realize how much Overlord has. However, he is going to instigate that 2v1 versus Greatwall and rely on the fact that Overlord was killed by Greatwall and as such will probably continue to hit him.
Yeah, it's if he was scouting a little better, I think he would definitely just went ahead and killed Overlord, because Overlord is just out of this game right now. He could definitely come back into it if they let him, but he is so out of this game right now.
Yeah. I mean, if he's given another 15 minutes, maybe, then he'd have a tier 2 base.
Yeah, he's literally sitting on so little, has to rebuild everything. I mean, including burrows, and he can't even mine right now, so it's really rough for him. He's got a Windrider and a Blade Master.
However, never underestimate what a Blade Master can do in terms of annoyance.
Well, never underestimate a level 6 Blade Master.
It does look like we're going to have Steppen go ahead and engage again here. Good silence getting off here by Greatwall. I'd like to see Steppen go ahead and get some anti-magic potions here, and Steppen discovering that he's good and well fucked with all these gargoyles around him.
He was probably feeling pretty confident after that first bout. He's like, yeah, okay, I can take that army. Where'd all these gargs come from? What? Yeah,
so he may not have realized that Greatwall had such an extensive army earlier when he fought him, and then when the extra 20 food of gargoyles showed up, that was kind of the oh shit moment.
Yeah, and I feel like he needs to do something with these chimeras. He's got to get rid of them somehow, I think, because at this point, if a fight seriously goes on and Greatwall seriously decides to take him out, I don't think there's anything you could do to stop him. There's just so many gargs. They could just keep reinforcing so fast.
Yeah, if he fought in his base, the Moonwell would keep the Panda alive long enough to take down most of the gargoyles. What Steppen should do, in my opinion, is take the fight to Greatwall's base and go ahead and do a bunch of damage with these chimeras. If they end up dying there, then that's not the end of the world, because he can just go ahead and get 80 food of pure hippogriffs, or even 100 food of hippogriffs and maybe 2 chimeras. But Undead really excels in the hit-and-run game. I mean, they're clearly a lot faster than SteppinRazor and the Night Elf army is at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you actually take the fight to the base, I'm not talking about taking it to the expansion that doesn't have any gold in it, Steppen. You should go to the actual base, but you could do a lot of damage if you went ahead and took out his Black Citadel or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like, though, a similar thing is what Greatwall should be doing is just going for the expansions, because, that's really important. You don't have to take out the Night Elf's main base if you take out all of his expansions. It's just like, 6,000 gold doesn't last super long if that's all you got.
Looks like it will be a question of who can get to the other person's base quicker.
I think that's the first thing the orcs said all game. Finish my fucking base, guys! Come on! I'm sorry. That's probably not how he sounds, but I just, like...
I don't know. I think everybody sounds like a typical 13-year-old in this game. It's kind of hard not to read it that way.
It's probably... Well, it's just when there's an A in that word, I'm just always like... I don't know. But yeah, this is interesting.
Okay, Steppen has gone for 100. He is producing more. Why is he building more fucking chimeras?
He's got a strategy. I don't know if it's a good one, but he's got one and he's sticking to it. I guess the strategy is let the Panda do the work.
Which is typically the strategy for Night Elf player. Nice Death and Decay going off here by Greatwall. Wow, that bear went down really quickly. That's not going to be a whole lot of help here. Let's see if Steppen can go ahead and engage this properly. If he gets this Panda silenced early on, then it's going to be bad news for him. And it does look like that's exactly what's going to happen. He needs to go ahead and do something here to take the advantage. I'd use that Potion of Vulnerability, get the Panda out there, and get a Breath of Fire Haze combination going on ASAP. Chimera does die.
That Death and Decay is so strong.
I was going to say, he needed to silence that Lich. I mean, that could have easily been prevented early on. Does get that Breath of Fire combo off, and now we've got the low-looking Panda here. Is it going to go ahead? Yep, does use its Invulnerability Potion, so that's going to be good news for him. Stepping down to 54 food, though, while Greatwall is at 88, so he is clearly dominating this fight at the moment. No heroes have been lost. We do have the nice trap on the Keep of the Grove here, being trapped by the Tree of Eternity at the same time. Does get out of the way, just barely. Nice staff on the Panda, so does look like the Panda's still going to die, though, because the Tree of Eternity is actually right there. Probably not quite as nice a staff as Steppen would have liked it to be, so... This very well could be a good game depending on how Greatwall manages to finish it off. But we do have the Hippogriffs doing a little bit more damage here. Not going to be a whole lot of help, though, until the Gargoyles come out of stone form. And they're probably thinking they don't want to do that anytime soon. TP goes off for Steppen. Does not look like it's going to be in his base. So there's going to be free reign for Greatwall within Steppen's base. And production buildings will be going down.
Yep, and I think this is pretty much going to be the good game. I mean, I don't see how he could possibly come back from this at this point. Hiding the Tree of Life is only going to last so long, so...
Yep. He does have enough gold. Oh no, he does not have very much gold. Sorry, I misread that. He doesn't have the panda, so maybe if he could go ahead and revive that, it would be one thing. We'll see if he has enough gold to tavern it.
He's got a lot of gold. It's just he's got like 1,000 hippogriffs queued up at every single Ancient of Wind.
Yeah, you're right. So you should probably cancel those.
Should probably cancel those. Yeah. I like how the Blade Master is still in the game, just killing acolytes. Just cruising them acolytes. It's like he's like, I know I've lost, but I'm gonna just kill all your acolytes because you know. That is
actually the most fucking annoying thing if you're playing against somebody that will not leave. It really drives me nuts. However, it's very amusing if it's somebody else happening too.
Oh, I'm definitely enjoying it, but I would be very angry if I was if I was Greatwall. I'd be like, you know what? I'm just gonna build a fucking Great Wall of Ziggurats here at this gold mine juncture. Bastard Blade Master.
So Steppin has gone ahead and gotten his panda back, and he does have level 6 on this Keep of the Grove. We do have a charm on the Frost Warp, so this could make things a little bit more interesting. I'd like to see that Keep of the Grove go ahead and use its ultimate soon. It would be nice to heal everything before we start fighting.
Right. I feel like at this point we're gonna see Greatwall just try to kill all the buildings.
Maybe. I think if the fight actually goes to Greatwall's base, Greatwall's going to have to TP there, and I think Greatwall can take him down. A very nice Death and Decay there, though. We do have this Death Knight looking a little low, but it doesn't look like Steppin's going to focus on it greatly. And Greatwall is attacking the Chimera Roost with his gargoyles. I'm not sure why. There we go. We're actually going to focus down these Chimeras now, because apparently the Chimeras earlier were not a big deal.
Maybe he was waiting on a charm? I don't know.
Maybe,
he
but
was just like calculating. It was calculating. Do I want to wait for 3 charm cooldowns? I don't. It takes a while, but cost-benefit analysis, guys. I don't know.
He had to open up a spreadsheet and get that going.
He's like, Excel. How do I type in a formula again? I don't remember.
What is the cost-benefit analysis formula for a Night Elf versus Undead trade-off here? And Steppin come back in here. Ooh, very nice TP. Just saves that Death Knight. That could have been bad news. Steppin gonna save the remains of his base here. Does have a 92 food army, so he's clearly not dead. However, Greatwall still in the driver's seat overall here.
Is Greatwall really trying to manipulate the orc that has like a Blade Master?
I think he is, yeah.
It's like, send that Blade Master over to that orc or the Night Elf. I don't know. Well, you know, I have to say, one thing I really like, I'm just going to point this out, is if you open up chat, you'll notice, you might have caught this. Overlord, he said, newer play so bad, and I think he meant never play so bad, so I do think his name is actually Overlord, and I think maybe his V key is broken.
Actually, I think that's within the Russian language. W is an...
Is it? Is that actually?
It's something, because I know that, just a random tangent, but we had a player that was named, I don't know, it was some name, however, it was pronounced Crest. He's a Russian solo player, and I had no idea how to pronounce his name, and it turned out I was completely wrong, and was later told by a few Russian people from FML that that's not how you pronounce the name it's not how you get a direct translation, basically. So I think that it probably is Overlord.
Yeah, I'm sure it's Overlord. I'm sure that we're never wrong. Also, just for what it's worth, always right.
Exactly.
And we're the ones who said it was Overlords.
Exactly. And does get a silence off there, and this could be the Lich having. Yep. So Steppin actually looking like he's a little bit back in this game. He's got the heroes for it. Yeah.
I don't know how if he wins this, I would be very shocked.
I do not.
But he could.
He has 1 Tree of Life, which has been scouted by that gargoyle. So that's pretty much the only tree of life I see, at least.
Yeah, well, you know, here's the funny thing, I think, is that the orc player has actually put Greatwall in this position because of killing all those acolytes. Otherwise, Greatwall would totally have a lot more money, and he would probably be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, the orc has kept Steppin in the game, essentially, and he may be named Steppin's MVP if Steppin does win.
I think definitely, if Steppin wins, I think the orc is definitely a big part of that. And I think that's one of the risks of playing with, you know, someone who just decides, I'm just going to, you know, I'm tunnel visioning you and only you, no matter what happens in the game. You're the son of a bitch, and I'm going for it.
On the other hand, Greatwall should still not lose this. He is in a very good position, so...
Absolutely.
And here we go, another Death and Decay. I like the way that Greatwall actually uses Death and Decay. Too often we see undead players just ignore it for some reason. And it's clearly had a massive impact on Greatwall's or Steppin space here, but Steppin is back here, and Greatwall gonna have to TP in, presumably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
Oh, he's TPing to the far one. Ooh, a nice job sandwiching him here. I did not expect that, and I'm guessing Steppin didn't either, so Greatwall played that very nicely. Hard to see who got the silences off on what, but we do have a charm going off there for Greatwall getting a Chimera, and this Panda is going to be slowed down a little bit. I'd like to see if that can get healed. Or, sorry, if we can get that... Well, how did Greatwall get a staff? Does he
maybe
steal
someone
with
dropped one? Possibly?
I'm confused.
I don't know. Well, there you go. It happens.
We are going to see this Keep of the Grove be in very bad shape momentarily, though. Doesn't get the ultimate off for very long. Does look like Steppin is entirely silenced right now. That's a nice job on Greatwall's part here. They've been trading silence back and forth, and looks like that Death Knight actually under silence as well. So Steppin at 57, and Greatwall is at 73. However, he is pumping out right now. And most of the army for Steppin at the moment is air.
It's going down.
It's, yep, Frostworms and Chimeras, and in comes some Gargoyles here. Steppin is not realizing him. Ooh! That is really going to hurt. However, I still think this could go in Greatwall's favor here. The Chimera should be going down momentarily. I'm not sure why this Death Knight's not... There we go. Death Knight does go down there. So Greatwall is in big trouble right now, actually. Yeah, he still has a bunch of Gargoyles that could kill off these Chimeras, though.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm sorry.
Alright, there we go. We got a charm off on that, and let's see if we can take down this Pandarian Brewmaster. They are being forced to chase, and Gargoyle should do a massive amount of damage right now. Does get the staff off there. We could see this Keep of the Grove be very low now, and wise choice on Greatwall's part to take out the Chimera first. Greatwall's still in control there, but that must be way closer than his comfort level at the moment.
Honestly, the Orc is my favorite to win at this point. They just completely... He's on 2 bases. He's gonna have to start rebuilding and shit, but he just... You know, they're too busy fighting with each other, and the Orc's like, I got Blade Master, it's all I got, guys. I don't know, man.
That's all I need.
It's all I needed, right? Yeah, I was... What is going on? Why?
It does look like Steppin gonna come out here and finish off some of these Acolytes with his Panda and Keep of the Grove. However, he does not have a TP on either of these. This could be very bad news with Greatwall coming in behind him. I expect we're going to see at least one of these go down. Ideally, there's no staff on the Panda, so that Keep of the Grove is not getting out of here. And Panda should be using its ultimate, but it got silenced. Not good points for Steppin here to go ahead and ignore that earlier on. And, ooh, beautiful staff there by the Keep of the Grove. The Keeper of the Grove should be going down unless he gets away due to those boots. We do not have... we do have boots on Dark Ranger, actually, so...
Yeah,
wow, did not expect him to get away there.
Well, he's got 4 legs. That's what's going on. You just underestimated it.
I feel like you're being legist.
No, I am not. Look, if you have 4... It's have you seen a cheetah? 4 legs. What else? Do I need to say anything else? I don't think so. We have Blade Master killing a Frostworm.
He only has 2 legs.
Have you seen a cheetah?
Yeah, Usain Bolt's faster.
What? You're out of your mind.
Haven't you seen the commercials?
Okay, that's true. I forgot. I had seen that commercial. He's faster than like 2 cheetahs in the world. Like every other cheetah, and those 2 cheetahs are only slower because of cheetah inbreeding. It's a serious issue that scientists need to work.
So not only are you legist, but you are calling cheetahs inbred hicks. You are really not going to go over well with the animal community here.
No, what I'm saying is that cheetahs are suffering from an inbreeding issue. This is a documented fact. And it hurts the genome pool of DNA or whatever and causes defects.
So now you're making fun of Alabama.
Wow, I never even mentioned I was mentioning...
You mentioned inbreeding and negative effects. That's clearly talking about Alabama.
I didn't say that. Just so we're all clear, I am Purebe and he is Mage, and my opinions and his opinions may not be the same.
I was gonna say, I would never say anything bad about Alabama. That was clearly all on Purebe.
I never even mentioned Alabama. He's like, inbreeding? Oh, you're talking about Alabama.
Okay, so we do have a silenced Panda here. This is, let's see if he can get off a staff and get that Panda out of harm's way. One would hope he could. One would apparently not, though. It's not like he had a staff there. Okay, so that's game over. It's got to be
he
game
had
over.
2 staffs there.
And a teleportation. Never mind. He does not have the teleportation. That's just another staff from the Dark Ranger.
Well, I mean, I think we've had a lot of excitement this game. I do believe at this point Steppin is I think Steppen's about to be removed forcefully.
I like how Steppen's like, Orc, are you even here? The Orc has done more damage to Greatwall than Steppen has.
It's so true. I mean, I think Steppen just needs to scout a little better, because, I mean, the Orc's kingdom is just not that great. Actually, that's a good point someone just mentioned in OBS, is that he does have all of his bestiaries. He doesn't actually have to rebuild shit. He's actually making some casters. He just needs the income and the supply.
He needs wood.
Well, he does need wood. So, the income and the supply. I think he's going to start making a lot of wood. He's got 4 idle peasant peons. He just needs to put those guys onto the trees, and he'll be. I think he can actually get a pretty decent. I don't know if he's going to be able to win, but he's sitting at 60 food compared to Greatwall's 60 food. He's got his Torn Chief down. The big thing is he's underleveled pretty bad on his secondary and third heroes.
Yeah. It does look like he's going for bats, though, which is probably his best bet. The one thing you don't like about that is it requires that he completely outgold Greatwall for the rest of the game, which is possible. However, the bats are not going to do much good once the heroes are just in hero arena mode.
Well, to be fair, if he manages to get a good kill on all those Gargs, like just let's say he does, then that'll level up his secondary heroes, and then he'll have the hero advantage, I would say. I
don't think so. He's got 987. Greatwall has 987 at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't. I would personally say that Greatwall's hero choice is kind of strange. Even though it's completely normal. It's completely normal, but it's kind of strange because I think it sounds cooler to say that, and it makes the Orc seem like he has a better chance.
You hipster, you.
I'm a hipster. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I'm actually not a hipster. That's just to clarify again.
So Greatwall running a very good chance of getting this Chimera charmed.
This is true.
Not sure if he's aware of that. It does look like he's dragging it behind. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but
he wants to charm it right back. That's his grand plan.
Could be his grand plan.
The Dark Ranger to turn around, waste a bit of time, take an extra nuke, and then he doesn't even get anything. Unless he charms it and then staffs it immediately.
That would be the ideal thing. However, it would lead to the Dark Ranger dying, most likely. Dark Ranger looks like it's probably going to die anyway.
Well, the Dark Ranger had a good life, and a good death.
I was going to say, and a good afterlife.
Yeah.
What happens to a dead creature after it dies again? I think that is our question of the day right now.
Yeah, well, I would say on a philosophical level... Oh, Steppen left. Well, I can't say I didn't see that coming, but... Yeah, there you go. Now it's just down to the Undead versus Orc. I really think we all know who's won. It's not rhyming with Great Wall of China. That doesn't really work as a rhyme. More as like just saying his name. I don't know.
I'm just gonna keep keep letting you talk.
I'll just keep going with it. You see, if you take a pinhole with a cushion and then you take a camera and you take a picture of it, that'll give you the identity of the true winner and the king of the Kingdom Lands. And yeah,
I think what Purebe actually meant was clearly the true winners are those of you that have gotten to listen to us. Not to be immodest, but to be immodest. Clearly, you guys are the winners.
Or you're the losers. What do you know? It's one of the two.
It is opposite day.
Yourselves. Yay.
I don't know if they're still with us after what is it, like an hour now? Hour and a half? Hour.
It's
actually been a pretty short game.
I've lost track of the days.
That's pretty bad. You may actually have Alzheimer's.
No, look. Do you know what day we're on? It's like it doesn't give us. We're like, is this the 5th day, the 6th day of the FFA match? I don't know.
It's the 13th day. Days go a lot quicker than that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Look at the clock, how quickly it goes through.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I'm just saying, I've lost track of the days. I don't know.
Well, as I said, you may just actually have a defect.
I have several defects. There's no may about it. They're there. You just.
So what you're saying is you're born in Alabama.
Well, hold on. I never mentioned Alabama. Now look here.
It does look like we have Overlord actually going to bring the fight to Greatwall here, and if he gets in good position, this could go very well for Overlord. He needs to use these bats better than he's used them all game, though, because he has not used them very well all game.
Well, the truth is that the undead shouldn't let those bats kill him because he's got a lich at this point.
Yeah, and he's doing a nice job of leaving those gargoyles behind. So he's going to waste all these bats here, most likely, on stuff like the Frostworm and the Chimeras. And now he's going to have a bunch of bats that are going to be killed off by the Lich, most likely.
Or he's just going to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to kill the Shadow Hunter.
Long hair, don't care.
Just a long hair, no, whatever. Don't even care enough to finish it.
Yep, that'll be the game.
Yeah. Well, this is me
Is that
clapping.
the sound of one hand clapping?
No, that's the sound of two-hand clapping.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I get confused.
I used both hands.
Well, aren't you special?
I am. That's what I was told in all my life growing up.
This explains oh so much. Come on, let's go ahead and nuke these Spirit Walkers. I want to see those die too. I don't care about the Torn Chieftain. I want to see Spirit Walkers die.
Only one person cares about the Torn Chieftain, and that guy is clearly lost. Let's just call it. Let's just call it. Greatwall wins. Congratulations, Greatwall! Yay!
Unfortunately, the game may not actually end right now.
Yeah, I know. No, Overlord has another base with two more towers.
He actually has essentially 2 more bases, although he's not mining from 1.
This is true. He is making a Shadow Hunter, and he's queued up his Torn Chieftain, which you can't forget about the Torn Chieftain. Literally the most important thing in that altar is either one of them. They're both pretty good. I don't know which one's...
I was going to say, you're playing favorites now. That doesn't
I am...
Right.
Well, you know...
Sometimes you just have one child you love more than the others. I understand.
Yeah, that's actually what it is. I literally just love the Torn Chieftain more than the Shadow Hunter.
The Blade Master is going to be very disappointed in you.
Well, the Blade Master has always been like a big sore eye for me. I wish I always feel like I messed up with him. I don't know.
Who's the one you should have put up for adoption? I understand.
I feel like, no, he's the one I probably should have put like with a pillow on his face, you know, just like a little bit. You son of a bitch! If I only knew what you were gonna do.
Yeah. So, Mr. NSA, if you're actually listening to this, I have no affiliation with this guy.
He's Mage. I'm Purebe. Our opinions may not match up. One of the two.
God, do we have to put a disclaimer on all of our stuff now?
Well, I've been putting disclaimers on everything I have, just in case. I'm watching a Blade Storm though right now, which is wonderful. It's actually doing nothing. It's the best use of Blade Storm I've ever seen. It didn't kill a thing.
Yeah, but the Blade Master is single-handedly going to take down the Black Citadel.
Potentially. Allegedly.
Oh, let's get a stone form on the Blade Master. Not that it'll do much, but...
Oh, that would be brilliant. It's actually... Wow, well, the Black Citadel has died. So that happened.
On the other hand, the Lich using Death and Decay is doing quite a bit more damage right now.
The Lich single-handedly taking down the Great Hall, and the Watchtower, and the Burrow, and the other Burrow. Yay!
And a little bit of the Peon.
Little bit of the Peon, too, while we're at it. Yeah, that was powerful.
So this would be a good time for Overlord to leave. I'm just saying.
Overlord, you have fought so valiantly. It's valiantly, isn't it? It's probably not valiantly. I don't know. Overlord, you fought so valiantly. But it's probably over for you. It's the one problem with FFA.
He does have more gold than Greatwall does.
He also has 16 food. 15 food.
16 again.
Overlord has 61 food with the level 10 Dark Ranger.
I believe that would be Greatwall, actually.
Is that what I said? I thought I said Greatwall.
You said Overlord.
Well, I get confused easily. I'm sorry. Didn't we already go over this one? I feel like I've already had to say this. You keep bringing it up. I don't know.
It makes me feel better about myself. And that's the game. So congratulations to Greatwall, who will be advancing to Season 18 in the Free-For-All Masters League. Well earned on his part. Certainly one of the best games I've seen from him.
He played pretty darn tootin'.
Probably could have killed off that orc a little earlier and not had the Blade Master harass him for the past 12 hours.
Literally, the game lasted 1 hour and 3 minutes. But
you were the one talking about it being days in the game, so...
No, well, the game goes by day-night cycle, alright?
I know, so there is 12 hours in it. You're not gonna win this one.
I don't know. Is that what happens? Because I would.
Hours make days. Yep. Days
know
make weeks. Weeks make
right.
years.
You're right. You are right. I am wrong.
I'm glad you have accepted this.
I accept it completely.
Alright, so let's go ahead and wrap this one up. For those of you who may be listening for some unknown reason and don't realize who the fuck we are, this is Mage. That is Purebe.
This is Pure. Oh, yeah.
And as you can see, we cannot even do an outro properly.
Oh, God.
But yeah, anyway, you can find out more about the Free For All Masters League at ffamasters.net. You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/freeforallmasters and YouTube at youtube.com/freeforallmasters. You can find out more about Purebe at
twitter.tv. No, twitter.com/Purebe. Wait, no, youtube.com/SirPurebe. There we go. That's the one.
Okay. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys for watching, and if you're actually watching the live stream, we may go ahead and do a custom game as well. Catch y'all later.